Hello friends, I will continue with the ASM oral question and answers JB Singh set. This is part 3. What is Paris MOU? What regions does it cover? An MOU between 27 countries for the purpose of sharing information about their vessels and their owners and operatives for effective port state control. An MOU serves a dual purpose. It avoids unduly inconvenience to ships by inspecting them at each and every port, and it forewarns participating maritime state of substandard ships. The Paris MOU includes the European and North Atlantic region. Next question, what is Resolution 787 Session 19? So 787 is for the procedure for port state control. It has been superseded now by Assembly Resolution 1052 27 session. Next question, what is an unsafe vessel? As per MSA Part 9 Section 336, a ship which by reason of defective condition of her hull, equipment or machinery or by reason of overloading or improper loading is unfit to proceed to sea without serious danger to human life is considered an unsafe ship. Next question, what was the special certificate carried on your last vessel? The answer may be a certificate like DOC, Document of Compliance for Carriage of Dangerous Goods. Next question, what maneuvering information is required on the bridge? As per IMO Resolution A.601 Session 15, the following maneuvering information should be present on board and available to navigators: pilot card, wheelhouse posters, maneuvering booklet. Pilot card is intended to provide information to the pilot and should describe the current condition of the ship with regards to its loading, propulsion, maneuvering equipments, and other relevant equipments. Wheelhouse posters should be permanently displayed in the wheelhouse, contain general particulars, detailed information describing the maneuvering characteristics of the ship. Maneuvering booklet contains comprehensive detail of ship's maneuvering characteristics and other relevant data. It should include the information shown on the wheelhouse poster together with other available maneuvering information. Next question, what is ITC 69? ITC stands for the International Convention on Tonnage Measurement of Ships 1969. It aims to establish uniform principles and rules with respect to determination of tonnage of a ship engaged on international voyages. Next question, what is hydrostatic draft? Hydrostatic draft or true mean draft is the draft at the center of flotation. When the ship is on an even keel, the draft forward and aft, the mean draft and hydrostatic draft are same. Next question, to which vessels does GMDSS apply? GMDSS applies to ships of 300 gross tonnage and above. It does not apply to fishing vessels, warships, pleasure yacht not engaged in trade, ships not propelled by mechanical means, and ships navigating only within Great Lakes or St. Lawrence River. Next question, what is the difference between interim certificate and seaworthiness certificate? When a vessel calls a port of refuge to carry out emergency repairs to hull or machinery, such repairs must be inspected and approved by a class surveyor, who will then issue an interim certificate of class. If due to lack of availability of resources, the repair carried out are only of a temporary nature, so as to enable the ship to safely seek out further repairs at a more appropriate port, the class surveyor will endorse the interim certificate of class accordingly. However, if class surveyor are unable to attend to the vessel at the port of refuge, the vessel may be surveyed by any approved local surveyors who has been approved by class or PNI club. In absence of local surveyors, the vessel may be surveyed by any Indian consular officer for Indian ships, two master mariners, or a master mariner and chief engineer in case of machinery damage. In all such cases, vessel will be issued a certificate of seaworthiness that certifies that vessel is safe to continue her voyage. Next question, what are a master's duty on receiving a distress alert? As per SOLAS Chapter 5 Regulation 33, also MS Act Part 11 Section 355, the master of any ship at sea which is in a position to be able to provide assistance on receiving information from any source that persons are in distress at sea is bound to proceed with all her speed to their assistance and if possible, inform them or SAR services that it is doing so. If the ship receiving a distress alert is unable to respond or considers it unnecessary or unreasonable to do so, the master must enter in the logbook the reason for failing to proceed and inform appropriate SAR facilities accordingly. Next question: what are the deck preparations that you need to do before entering ice? And the answer is fire line, deck wash line, ballast water lines, etc. to be drained. Steam supply and return line exposed to freezing temperature are to be drained. Fresh water lines outside engine room and accommodation should be drained. Precautionary placards should be posted at all the pumps and main valves. Fresh water in lifeboat to be drained. Additional fresh water may be kept nearby inside accommodation area. Antifreeze or special grade diesel oil and lube oil to be procured for lifeboat and rescue boat engines. Bridge front window washing lines to be drained. Ensure sufficient winter gear for crew. Ensure accommodation heating system is operational. Ensure there is sufficient de-icing salt, shovels, ice pick and antifreeze. Ensure safety lines are rigged on deck. Radar scanners to be kept running and radars to be in continuous operation. Nav lights to be kept on at all times. Steering gear pumps to be kept on. Turn the rudder every 30 minutes when in point. Ensure propeller is completely immersed. Switch to low sea suction. Rig searchlight for ice navigation. Maintain extra lookout in areas that are known to have icebergs. Use radar to obtain early warning of ice. Obtain ice reports. Hydraulic systems to be kept running in recirculation mode. Ice accretion on deck and superstructure can lead to a loss of GM. This should be taken into account and ice accretion should be avoided. Next question: how to navigate in ice? Radar scanners to be kept running and radars to be in continuous operation. Navigational lights to be kept on at all times. Steering gear pumps to be kept on. Turn the rudder every 30 minutes when in point. Maintain extra lookout in areas that are known to have icebergs. Use radar to obtain early warning of ice. Obtain ice reports. Next question: what is an amendment? How is an amendment enforced in India? Latest amendment to MSA. An amendment is a change to an existing convention. In India, it is brought into force through an act of parliament to amend the MSA. The two latest amendments to the MSA: Part 11B, Control of Harmful Anti-Fouling System on Ships, and Maritime Labour Convention. Next question: what is the ISM Code? What are its recent amendments? ISM Code is the International Safety Management Code for the safe operation of ships and pollution prevention. ISM Code is mandatory as per SOLAS Chapter 9. The purpose of ISM Code is to ensure safety at sea, to prevent human injury or loss of life, to avoid damage to the environment and to the ship. In order to comply with the ISM Code, each ship class must have a working safety management system. Each SMS contains the following element: commitment from top management, a top tier policy manual, a procedure manual that documents what is done on board the ship during normal operations and in emergency situation. Procedures for conducting both internal and external audits to ensure ship is doing what is documented in the procedures manual. A designated person ashore to serve as a link between the ship and the shore staff and to verify the SMS implementation. A system for identifying where actual practices do not meet those that are documented and for implementing associated corrective action. Regular management reviews. Another requirement of the ISM code is for the ship to be maintained in conformity with the provisions of relevant rules and regulations and with any additional requirements which may be established by the company. Each ISM compliant ship is audited first by the company, internal audit, and then each 2.5 to 3 years by flag state Marine Administration to verify the fulfillment and effectiveness of their safety management system. Once SMS is verified and it is working and effectively implemented, the ship is issued with the safety management certificate. Comment from the auditor or audit body and from the ship are incorporated into the SMS by headquarters. The requirement of ISM code may be applied to all ships. The latest amendment to ISM Code is as per MSc Circular 273, Session 85. The principal changes have been made in Section 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and 14 of the ISM Code. Some of the key changes are as follows. Contains a less strict definition of major nonconformity, which previously tied serious threat to safety to lack of effective and systematic implementation of a requirement of the code. It can now be either provides for a proactive risk assessment with the obligation now to assess all risk and establish safeguards and to show in the SMS how these risks are identified. Imposes a requirement for the masters to periodically review their vessel's SMS and report deficiencies to the shore-based management, which AMSA has interpreted to mean a complete review of the system both ashore and afloat at least annually. Requires that the procedure for corrective actions to include measures to prevent recurrence. Set an annual requirement for mandatory internal safety audit. Introduces a need for the company to assess the effectiveness of its SMS in accordance with established procedures. I hope this is a useful podcast for you. For any feedback, please comment. Thank you for watching.